Good morning. Our devotions today, the first one is called The Good and the Corrupt Trees, and the reading comes from Matthew chapter 7. In the same way, every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. No good work helps a person toward saintliness or salvation who has no faith. The opposite is also true. No evil work can make that person evil and condemned, but only unbelief, which makes both the person and the tree evil, and then the person does the evil works. Excuse me. Therefore, if we grow saintly or wicked, it does not begin with works, but with faith. As the sage says, the beginning of human pride is to forsake the Lord. The heart has withdrawn from its maker. So also Christ teaches that we must not begin with works and says, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad. As though he would say, whoever would have good fruit must begin with the tree and make it good. Therefore, whoever would do good works must begin not with the works, but with the person who is to do the works. But the person cannot be made good except through faith. Neither can that one be made evil except through unbelief. It is true that works make a person saintly or evil in the sight of humans. That is to say, they indicate outwardly who is saintly and who is wicked. As Christ says, you will know them by their fruits. But all this is in outward appearance only. And the prayer is from Psalm 51. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and put a new and right spirit within me. Amen. That might sound familiar to many of you too. It's one of the old part of the old liturgy that we used to sing. Excuse me. I'm reading a book right now, and it's called, almost dumped you over here. It's called Searching for Sunday, and it's by Rachel Held Evans, who, a young author who just passed away recently, and but she has a knack for writing, but she was talking also about the works and how it breaks her heart when she hears a young person who, says he's not good enough or worthy enough to be admitted into the kingdom of heaven, and how it's not by what we do, but it's God who reaches out to us. We don't reach out to God. God reaches out to us. And okay, let's go on to Thursday, which is love is the fulfilling of the law. Our short reading, well, there's a couple of them in this one, James 2:22, and then Romans 13, part of verse 10. You see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was brought to completion by the works. And then the Romans passage is love is the fulfilling of the law. Faith and love should be distinguished in this way. Faith is concerned with the person, and love with the works. I say this so that the nature and meaning of faith, love and the law may be rightly grasped, and that to do each is ascribed what properly belongs to it. Faith justifies, but it does not fulfill the law. Love does not justify, but it fulfills the law. The law demands love and works, but does not mention the person. The person feels the law, but love does not feel it at all. Faith, then, although it cannot fulfill the law, yet possesses that by which the law can be fulfilled, for it gains the spirit and the love by which it can be fulfilled. Again, though love does not justify, yet it gives proof of what makes a person just, and that namely faith. To sum up, as St. Paul himself here says, love is the fulfilling of the law, as if he said that it is one thing to fulfill the law and another to make possible the fulfilling of the law. Love fulfills the law in the sense that it is itself the fulfilling of the law. But faith fulfills it in the sense that it provides the doer, and love remains the deed. That's pretty hard to understand, and hopefully tomorrow's devotional will follow up on that so that we can connect the two or even the three to figure out what is going through Martin Luther's head at this time. Love is the fulfilling of the law. In other words, we love keeping the commandments. He says that the new commandment to love one another as he has loved us, and to love God because there is no other God, where was I? I kind of lost it here. I'm sorry. Possesses by which the law can be fulfilled. Love does not justify, yet it gives proof of what makes a person just, and namely faith. Love is the fulfilling of the law. So as we receive this new commandment from Jesus to love everyone as he has loved us, it fulfills basically all of the commandments. It fulfills the law because of the fact that all of those commandments can be summed up in the one commandment that Jesus gives us in the Gospel of John. And so there's a lot of love, fulfilling, fulfill. It'll get straightened out in our heads as we go along here. But I think that love is always the key, especially when it comes down to our loving God and God loving us. God finding God's way to us rather than us finding our way to God. Rachel Held Evans says that there is no ladder to climb. And I like that because so many people look at Jacob's ladder and think that that's what they're talking about, that they have to climb this ladder and reach a certain point before they're acceptable before God. And that just plain isn't true, because God is the one that comes down the ladder and meets us, and then we live with God. I hope that I made that a little bit understandable. I know I kind of mishmashed it up a little bit for a few minutes, but tomorrow we'll see what Martin Luther has to say. And I might read Saturdays right away too, just in case, so that we can wrap up this week then, and maybe even tie it in with the gospel lesson for Sunday. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Don't complain about the weather, please. Would that we could send this out to our neighbors out in the western part of the United States. I know my daughter and son-in-law have their car loaded and are ready at the drop of a moment to leave town if they have to, because of the wildfires going on there right now and the blistering temperatures. My daughter went out to water the garden today, and she had to be totally wrapped up. The only thing you could see was her eyes, and the air quality is so poor with all the ash and everything. So keep them all in your prayers, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.